Alright, so here we are on chess.com, and it looks like they have a new interface. We're trying it out. So far, I don't like it, but they have some bugs to work out. And when they do work it out, I'll probably like it better. It's just that in the meantime, there's very limited ability to resize things here. You can make it smaller, but I want it even bigger. And to adjust these boxes here, like to move them out of the way, things like that. But either way, we're still trying to reach Class A, and so let's go ahead and see if we can get a game going. We get one immediately with a Class A opponent, and let's see what he wants to do. We are going to play our trusty e6, and since he has played e4, then we will go into a French defense, and we will play the Rubinstein and see here exactly what he desires. I don't really like the positions that you get from developing the queen knight first, so I like to get out my queen bishop. Yes, it does waste a few moves, but be that as it may, that's just the way I like to do it. Now it's safe to develop the king's knight, and notice here that we are threatening wholesale exchanges on e4, if you can call that a threat. Isn't really. And black doesn't even necessarily want to do that. It just kind of depends. If you're down on time, sometimes in a very quick game, like a bullet game, I'll just quickly exchange things in here. But it's certainly not a necessity. I've played some fairly high-level games for club or amateur players anyway, and there's no reason to release the tension here at all if you're not of a mind to do so quickly. Here I've noticed before that if you want any counterplay, you have to work for the c5 push, and that's exactly what we are striving for here. I'm delaying a little bit on the kingside castling, number one, just to make him kind of wonder about it. And also, just because, well, see, for example, here he gets a battery lined up on the queen and bishop on the rook pawn. Now, if I immediately castle, then he immediately goes into some hinky stuff trying to get an attack on my king if I immediately castle, but looks like we're not going to get into any of that. Instead, we're going to get into some weirdo stuff. My rook's threatening his queen. If he wants to keep the queen-rook battery, he doesn't wish to keep the battery. I got a pin. I have a pin. Well, now that he's not got a battery there anymore, I'll release the pin. I know the rook pawn's hanging, but hang on. That's not necessarily that bad of a thing. Okay, so he decides to go ahead and take. I will take back with the queen. Alright. Now if he wants to take my rook pawn, he can. However, I do not think that he will enjoy the initiative that I get from such a thing. Or he could just trade queens. I don't think he wants to trade queens when you could win a pawn? That's kind of wimping out, isn't it? Now he's saddled with a weak d-pawn here. It's isolated going into an endgame. Well, guess who's going to gang up on the d-pawn, people? That's right, yours truly. Well, it doesn't get any stronger by exchanging pieces. No, it doesn't. My knight is temporarily misplaced here on d7. I'll have to readjust that. He wants to exchange off. Why would a player of his caliber or his strength want to exchange like that? Well, the pawn's still weak here, and there are plenty of pawns on the board, so I will go ahead and allow the knight for bishop exchange. Uh-oh. Are we in trouble? Wow. Didn't see that move. I don't see how I'm going to protect the bishop or anything. Oh man. Did I fall for a little bit of taquitos? Just a little tactical maneuver? Come on. Aw. Let me see if there's any way out of this. No, Oh, this makes me sad. And not only that, but just like not happy either. Well, we'll go on for a few moves, just to, you know, see what we can do. We can't do anything here. Yeah, come on. This is no good. Yeah, that's no good either. Alright. Well, folks, that's... Oh, here's another thing, too. On this interface, you need to be able to find the resign button easier. Because if you're as sorry a player as me, then you got to be able to hit the resign button more often. Well, we won't keep this guy waiting any longer. We'll say, thanks for game. And boom. Alright. So, yes, I do want to resign. Don't ask me if I want to. Come on. Confirm a resign. Well, I guess that's alright. Okay. No, I don't want a computer analysis. I want to see how I messed it up with that tactic back there. Alright, so he moved up here and says, hey, you want to exchange? You want to exchange? And I just moved my king over then to f8. What else could I have done? Since I was thinking anyway about moving my bishop back, I should have just moved it back. Yeah, I don't like it because I'm taking pressure off the d-pawn here, but I can always stack on to it later. I guess he can force a liquidation. Something like, say, bishop here, knight here, knight takes, bishop takes. No, he can't push here, because if he does, then I take the knight pawn. So, I don't know. I would have still had some pressure. And how's he going to prevent me from taking this diagonal back? So, really, it should be a draw, I guess, anyway, but I lost a drawn game. Alright, folks. Well, that's why I'm not Class A yet, and I hope that your Rubenstein French is better than mine. Till next time.